In this video, I'll show you how to use the new tag-based bicycle route finder in Cyclopath. Before going further, it's recommended that you've already watched the old video on how to get started and how to get a route, and then also it'll probably be useful to have watched the video on how to add and remove tags, just so you know what I mean by tags in Cyclopath. So now the first step to get a route is to click the Find Route button. This is in two places, either up here, which you can always find, or it's also in the Routes panel right here. So here I'll click this, and I'll bring up a large pop-up where we can enter the start and end locations. Cyclopath can handle locations as addresses, intersections, and user-entered points. Now below these entries, there's also the Search Preferences box. Adjusting these settings will build upon Cyclopath's route finder to generate a more personal route. This personalization is in addition to any ratings you might have added to the roads, which are also considered when we give you a route. Now this first preference is a slider that can be adjusted between a shorter route or a more bikeable route. So if I wanted just as short a route as possible, I'd go all the way over here. And if I wanted the easiest route to bike on but didn't care how long it was, I'd go all the way over here. Now, it's also possible for you to specify the preferences of tags. When a tag preference is used, it modifies the bikeability based on the chosen preference of either to avoid the block with that tag, to penalize the block, or give the blocks with those tags a bonus. So there I mentioned three options. All of these have different meanings. If a tag has a preference of avoid, it tells the route finder to never use a block if it has an avoided tag. If a tag has a penalty, then it makes it less likely for a block with a penalized tag to be included in the route. Bonus is the opposite of a penalty. It makes it more likely that a route will include blocks with bonused tags. Now keep in mind that these tag preferences build upon your existing ratings and the estimated ratings that Cyclopath has for you. So now I'll go over how to set a tag preference. The first step is to make sure that the tag's used box is checked. If it's not checked, like bike lane here, then the route finder will ignore the tag preference for bike lane. So even though I have it marked as a bonus, it's not going to affect anything until I check this. After a tag is checked, you also have to choose a preference. In this case, I'd already given it one, so it didn't matter. But if I were to check unpaved, you'll notice that there are red outlines around each of the options. It won't let me actually generate a route until I pick one of those. So for unpaved, I'm not a fan, so I'll pick the penalty option. If you're looking for a specific tag, you can sort on all of the different columns in this table. So for example, I can group it by use, which it already is in. I can order it by alphabetical name or by block count, as well as the different options. If you're logged in, all of these tag preferences are saved when you click Find Route right here. If you don't want them saved, then you should click this checkbox so that your old settings won't be overwritten. You can also restore them to defaults by clicking the Restore Defaults button. Now, as an example, I'm going to quick generate a route using the default preferences from the super block, which is a user-entered point, to Al's breakfast, which is another point added by someone. Now I'll click Find Route, and we begin computing. Here, the route shows up as a blue line going from start to end. Now if I wanted to take advantage of the tag features, I might notice that this area right here is actually under construction. It's not really, but it's just an example. So I'll quick add the construction tag, save my changes so it will be in the system, and now I'll ask for the route again. And I don't like construction, so I'll avoid all blocks with construction. My first step will be to sort by name and go down and find construction. I'll mark it as used and then select avoid. And now I'll generate the route again and we'll see what happens. As you can tell, it's completely avoided this block right here that I've marked as under construction and has gone a different way. So you can use these type of things to get completely custom routes and to also choose a different route depending on what activity you're interested in doing. So that's basically how route finding works. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening, and thanks for using Cyclopath.